Remember that 70% modification I mentioned? The one that costs almost nothing but transforms how the Himalayan rides? It is not exhaust, it is not suspension, it is not power, it is the rider triangle: bars, pegs, and seat. The 3 points where you actually touch the motorcycle 100% of the time you are riding. And here's the crazy part. Most riders spend $0 on these contact points, while dropping thousands on parts they interact with maybe 10% of the time. You will buy a $1,200 exhaust that sounds cool, but makes zero difference in control. Meanwhile, you are fighting handlebars that are 2 inches too narrow and foot pegs that feel like ice skates. The contrast is insane. A $20,000 adventure bike with garbage ergonomics versus a $6,000 Himalayan dialed perfectly to your body. Which one actually rides better? I'm going to show you the exact parts, the costs, and the 30-minute install process that changed how I ride. And if you stick around, I will reveal the one free adjustment most riders completely skip that changes everything. Let's fix your bike. Here is what nobody talks about. After 50 miles on a stock Himalayan, your hands hurt, your wrists ache, your shoulders are tight. You stop for gas and you need to shake out your arms like you just finished arm day at the gym. That is not normal. That is your bike fighting you. In technical sections, it gets worse. You are white-knuckling the bars because you do not trust your grip. On pavement, you are death gripping because the bars feel twitchy. The problem is not you. The problem is that motorcycle manufacturers build bikes for an average rider who does not exist. They design for someone 5'9" with average arm length and average leg length. But real riders range from 5'6" to 6'4" with completely different proportions. Your arms might be long, your torso might be short, your inseam might not match the chart. None of that matters to the factory. Here's the belief breaker. Horsepower does not matter if you cannot control the bike. Leverage beats power every single time. Go wider, and the bike responds with noticeably less effort, especially when standing. Drop your foot pegs 1 inch, and your weight transfer improves dramatically. These are not small changes. These are the difference between fighting the bike and flowing with it. Let me give you a real example. A rider wants confidence off-road. That is the intention. But stock geometry creates fear. The bars feel too narrow when standing. The pegs are slippery. The result? Compensation, tension, less riding. If they cannot fix this, they stop riding dirt entirely and the bike becomes a pavement queen. Here is what kills me. Adventure riders will spend $3,000 on suspension upgrades. They will drop $1,500 on luggage systems. But they ignore the $150 fix that actually matters because it seems too simple. Meanwhile, expensive bikes with premium components still have garbage rider interface because it is good enough for a 10-minute showroom test ride. Nobody is optimizing for 200 miles of actual riding. If stock ergonomics are killing your confidence, here is exactly what fixes it. The rider triangle is the relationship between 3 contact points: handlebars, foot pegs, and seat. Dial all 3 correctly and the bike transforms. Get even one wrong and you are fighting the machine every single mile. Let's start with handlebars. Budget about $80 for quality aluminum bars. Why aluminum over stock steel? 3 reasons: better vibration damping, superior flex characteristics, and lighter weight. The Himalayan single cylinder thumps hard. Aluminum absorbs that buzz better than steel. You will feel the difference in your hands after 30 minutes. Bar geometry breaks down into 3 dimensions: rise, sweep, and width. Rise is how high the bars sit above the mounting clamp. Sweep is how far back they curve toward you. Width is the total measurement from end to end. Each dimension affects control differently. More rise helps when you are standing because your arms stay bent naturally. More sweep brings the grips closer when you are sitting. Wider bars give you more leverage for steering inputs. For the Himalayan's intended use, you want bars designed for dual sport riding. ProTaper makes excellent options. Renthal is another solid choice. Budget bars from companies like Emgo work fine too. You are not racing Dakar. You do not need titanium. You need bars that fit your body and handle dirt roads without bending the first time you drop the bike. Budget $50 for wide serrated pegs. The stock rubber pegs are a joke. They are narrow and slippery. The moment your boots get wet or muddy, you start skating around trying to find grip. Aftermarket pegs fix this immediately. Look for wide platforms with aggressive teeth. Riders call them bear traps because they grab your boots and do not let go. Better pegs create a confidence loop. You trust your footing, so you stand more. When you stand more, you see better lines. Better lines mean you ride harder terrain. Harder terrain builds skill faster. It all starts with pegs you can actually trust. Peg position matters too. Some bikes let you drop pegs lower or move them forward and back. The Himalayan has limited adjustability, but aftermarket options exist. Lowering pegs even 1 inch changes your knee angle and improves weight distribution when standing. If you are tall, this makes a huge difference. Component 3 is the free mods, lever angle, shifter height, and rear brake pedal position. These adjustments cost $0, but most riders completely ignore them. Your clutch and brake levers should angle so your wrists stay neutral when you grip the bars. If your wrist bends up or down, you are creating fatigue. Adjust the levers until they feel natural. Shifter height determines how easily your boot finds the lever without looking down. Too high and you lift your toe awkwardly. Too low and you dig under it. The same applies to the rear brake pedal. Set it so your foot rests naturally on the peg and the pedal sits right where your boot can press it. Seat considerations come last. The stock Himalayan seat is decent. Some riders spend $200 on custom comfort seats. That is fine if you are doing 300-mile days on pavement, but if you are riding dirt, you should be standing most of the time anyway. Better pegs matter more than a plush seat. Here is the enough philosophy applied. You do not need titanium foot pegs. You do not need carbon fiber bars. You need parts that fit your body and improve control. The dealer will try to sell you a $3,000 adventure package with luggage and graphics. It gives zero ergonomic improvement. Real priorities look different. Comfort and control beat Instagram aesthetics every single time. This install happens in your driveway with basic tools, no dealer required, no special equipment. If you can change your oil, you can swap bars and pegs. Handlebar swap is simple. Loosen the clamps, pull the old bars, slide the new ones in. Before tightening anything, turn the bars to full lock, left and right. If anything binds, stop and reroute cables. Smooth movement is non-negotiable. Now torque matters. Use the factory spec. Too loose and the bars will rotate. Too tight and you can crack the clamps. The same goes for the pegs. Thread lock the bolts and torque them to spec. Himalayan vibrations will loosen anything you do not secure. Here's where the bike actually changes. Set everything for standing first. Rotate the bars until your wrists stay neutral. Angle the levers so you can reach them without bending your wrist. Set shifter and brake height so your boot finds them naturally. Take a short test ride. If you're death gripping or getting forearm pump, come back and adjust one thing at a time. Small changes compound fast. Your first ride audit happens in the first 5 miles. Pay attention to arm pump. If your forearms are burning, your bars are wrong. Check for knee strain. If your knees ache, your peg position needs work. Notice if you're death gripping. That means your body does not yet trust the setup. Fine-tuning is iterative. Come back after that first ride and make small adjustments. Move the levers 1 notch. Rotate the bars 2 degrees. These micro changes compound. Do not settle for good enough when perfect is 10 minutes away. Let me tell you about a client who fought arm pump for 2 years. He tried different grips, tried grip exercises, tried everything except adjusting his levers. I watched him ride. His wrists were bent up at a 30-degree angle the entire time. A 10-minute lever adjustment solved the problem completely. He had been fighting his bike for 2 years over a simple angle issue. The confidence measurement is not about speed, it is about stress. When the bike fits you, the tension disappears. You stop bracing, stop death gripping, and riding becomes calmer instead of exhausting. Cost reality check. $80 for bars, $50 for pegs. Call it $150 all in once you add grips, thread lock, or small hardware. 30 minutes of your time, 0 dealer appointments. You just transformed how your bike feels for less than the cost of 1 tank of premium gas on a big adventure bike. Maintenance note: check these bolts after your first ride, then every 500 miles. The Himalayan vibrates, bolts loosen. This is not a set it and forget it situation. 2 minutes with an Allen key every few rides keeps everything tight. Let me show you what this actually looks like in real conditions. Last month I took the Himalayan up a technical fire road I have ridden dozens of times. Before the ergonomic mods, this road was exhausting. Tight stock bars meant I was gripping hard the entire time. Slippery pegs meant my feet were skating around looking for purchase. The result was slow, tentative riding that left me completely gassed after 20 minutes. There is one specific section that proves the point. Off-camber corner with loose rock and a rut down the middle. On the stock setup, this corner required a death grip on the bars and careful foot placement because I did not trust the pegs. I would tense up 50 feet before the corner, pick a conservative line, tiptoe through it. My heart rate would spike to 140 just from the stress of not trusting my controls. The same section after installing new bars and pegs changed everything. I could stand confidently because the pegs grabbed my boots. The wider bars gave me leverage to make precise steering inputs without overgripping. I stayed relaxed, picked a better line, flowed through the corner instead of surviving it. Measurable difference? My heart rate stayed at 115 through that same section, zero arm pump. My forearms felt fresh instead of burning. And here is the real difference. I actually had fun instead of just trying not to crash. That is what proper ergonomics unlock. The ability to enjoy riding instead of fighting your bike. Remember the limp mode issue from the last video, the wheel speed sensor packed with mud. Better ergonomics does not stop mud from packing a sensor, but it changes how you ride. Better control helps you pick cleaner lines and avoid getting into that situation in the first place. Better fit leads to better control. Better control leads to better line choice. Better lines mean fewer problems. This creates a confidence loop. When the bike fits your body, you control it better. Better control makes you willing to try harder terrain. Harder terrain builds skill faster. More skill makes you want to ride more. More riding makes you better. It all starts with ergonomics that actually work. The long-term effect is what matters most. These mods do not just make one ride better, they make you a better rider over time, because you are actually practicing proper technique instead of compensating for bad ergonomics. You are building skill instead of fighting your equipment. Let's do the math. Himalayan base price is $5,800, add $80 for bars, add $50 for pegs. Installation cost is $0 because you are doing it yourself in your driveway. The total investment is $5,930. Compare that to a premium adventure bike. The base model starts at $12,000. Then the dealer hits you with the adventure package for another $1,500. That package includes luggage racks, crash bars, and graphics that look cool, but do absolutely nothing for how the bike actually rides. You are at $13,500 before you have addressed a single ergonomic issue. Here is what kills me about dealer packages. They will sell you $3,000 worth of accessories, but completely ignore the rider interface. You get aluminum panniers and fancy decals while you are still fighting handlebars that do not fit your body. The priorities are completely backwards. Running costs tell an even better story. Better control means fewer crashes, and fewer crashes mean lower repair bills over time. When you are not fighting the bike, you are not making mistakes that bend levers and crack fairings. The savings compound over years of ownership. Here is the skill multiplier nobody talks about. That $150 in ergonomic mods teaches you more than $5,000 in suspension upgrades because you can actually use the bike. You are not compensating for bad fit, you are learning proper technique. Better ergonomics unlock progression that expensive parts cannot buy. Resale reality matters too. These mods transfer to the next owner. They add value instead of being personal preference that you remove before selling. The next rider gets a bike that is already dialed in. That is worth something. The enough verdict is simple. You cannot buy skill, but you can buy the fit that allows skill to develop. Imagine riding 3 times a week instead of once because the bike does not beat you up anymore. That's the real return on investment. So now you have the rider triangle. Bars, pegs, and alignment. The same modification that transformed my riding for $150 and 30 minutes of work. This alone will unlock confidence you did not know was missing. Your homework is simple. Dial your ergonomics this weekend. If your riding does not improve, call me out in the comments. I will wait. Like and subscribe so you do not miss it.